Hello everybody, how are we doing? I hope we're all having a wonderful day. Excited for today's video. Sorry if the lighting is a little bit weird. I just wanted to sit over here because I never sit over here. And this is Luke's little desk corner. Okay, sorry about the chair. Only so much I can do about that problem. This is Luke's little desk corner and I never sit over here, and he has like a little mic over here that he uses whenever he games. So I figured I could look a little cool, you know what I'm saying, and sit over here while I do this intro for this video that I'm very excited for, that I've never done before. I hope you guys are super pumped. We're doing a little bookish sleepover. We are going to read a book together. I'm going to answer some of your guys' questions, bookish and non-bookish, that I had you guys ask me on YouTube, and I had you guys ask me on Instagram too. Make sure you guys follow me on there if you're ever interested in doing anything with a Q&A. Most of the time I will post it on YouTube, but there's the rare chance that I might just post it on Instagram because it's kind of like easier to navigate. So make sure you're following me on there, and TikTok and Goodreads, all those things as well. We're going to put on some PJs. We're going to make a fun sweet treat. We're just gonna have a fun and cozy night, just you and me. Luke is out of the house tonight, okay? It's only you and me here. We're gonna be chilling, we're gonna be vibing, and we're just gonna have a fun and great night. First things first, let's talk about the book that we're gonna be starting in today's video, because I am so excited but also like really nervous about it. It's one that you guys have like really been wanting me to read, considering that I loved Beach Read and Happy Place by this author, and it is none other than Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I am, again, very excited and nervous to read this, just because those two books that I've read by her so far are 5 stars. I haven't read People We Meet on Vacation yet, and because of the high ratings of the other books, I'm just scared that this won't live up to the hype of the other ones that I love so dearly and so much and I hold so close to my heart. But I figured now would be as good a time as any, just because Funny Story is releasing at the end of this month, which again, so excited for. So I thought it'd be nice to read Book Lovers before Funny Story comes out, and then hopefully I'm gonna read People We Meet on Vacation sometime this summer, because it is more of like a beachy read. I literally know nothing about this. It just says one summer, 2 rivals, a plot twist they didn't see coming, which I assume, English, which I assume means that they fall in love. Love that for me. And I feel like I should just go ahead and start this so we can just like talk about my basic thoughts as we get into it, and I can actually figure out what the book is about and have something to talk to you guys about it. So let's go ahead and dive right into Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Enjoying Book Lovers so far. It's really good. I'm about 50 pages in now, but it is time for a little sweet treat, because 1, I love a sweet treat to end my day, and 2, I feel like a sleepover just screams sweet treat time. So we are going to be making, I guess not making, we're going to be putting it on the pan and it's going to be cooking itself. Just some classic chocolate chip cookies. These are the best chocolate chip cookies. Shout out my friend Brooke for the recommendation, because I've tried like every single just like store-bought cookie dough. This takes the cake. The cookie dough is really good, and just the cookies themselves are so good. I don't even know what's in these that make them different. It says just like soft and chewy homemade, and truly it is. They're literally so delicious and delectable. I love them so much. They're the Nestle Tool House chocolate chip lovers, and there's 12 of them, and they just come in like the big blocks that the other packages come in, but there's only 12 instead of like all the tiny ones. I prefer a big cookie, so perfect for me. And I also started watching a Sophie Jane vlog. She's one of my favorite YouTubers right now specifically. I just love watching her vlogs. They're like super cozy and fun. She's an Australian YouTuber. If you guys know who Rachel Catherine is, she's friends with her in Georgia. And I'm just like loving all of them right now. I'm loving all their videos and I'm just like obsessed with them. So watching that, let's go ahead and bake some cookies. phenomenal. So freaking good. You guys also saw me working on my reading journal for a little bit. I just wanted to kind of map out one spread. I'm working on my January wrap up right now, and I'm actually going to be doing a whole reading journal video that's hopefully going to be coming out in April. And right now I've just been kind of like tracing everything, and then I'm going to bring out the markers probably within the next few days. I am so excited. I've literally been enjoying it so much, and I haven't even gotten to most of like the marker stuff yet. As you can see, I did get out the markers for this little title. I just wrote like January wrap up. So I've been doing little stuff like that, but for like the actual stuff on the paper, I haven't really done any of the markers yet, like I was saying. We'll give you guys like a little sneak peek at a few of my pages. This is my title page. I'm literally obsessed with it. My reading bucket list page for the year, and I'm gonna be putting a title kind of like this one on top of it. This one is for my monthly spreads. I'm just gonna do one-page spreads for those, just because I personally don't think I need more than that. So my plan for this monthly spread is I'm gonna do a colorful cutout up top, and then I don't know if you can really see it, but it says the books I read, and I read 8 that month, so I'm gonna put all 8 of the books I read. Let me know if you guys want some more reading journal content, because I have really been enjoying it, and I feel like I barely scratched the surface. Okay, now that we've done a cute little cozy craft, I really want to get back into reading, but I feel like I need to get ready for bed so I can just like read for the rest of the night. So I'm gonna change into some PJs, and then we're gonna get ready for bed and have a little self-care time. Okay, we got the PJs on and we're in the bathroom now. I feel like now would be as good a time as any to answer your guys' questions from Instagram and from YouTube. I am so sorry about how pale I look right now. It is actually like kind of mortifying, so sorry about that. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start with this question because I feel like it'll lead into a lot of other questions that you guys asked. I was asked, what age did you start reading at? I mean, we all grow up like basically being told to read or being asked to read certain books for like school and stuff like that, especially like in high school. I was a SparkNotes kid. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest, like I really did not get around to reading then. Growing up, I didn't even really like reading either. I would read Baby Mouse, which were like graphic novels. I was really into those. And then as I grew up, just wasn't really into it. And then Draco Talk came into play. And if you don't know what Draco Talk is, you're really missing out. It's basically whenever TikTok was obsessed with Draco Malfoy from Harry Potter. So me and my friend Addie started watching all of the movies, and this was around like COVID time. I think this was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020. We started watching all of the movies in like fall of 2020, and it was actually the first time that I ever had seen the Harry Potter movies like all the way through, which is insane because I know a lot of people say that like they're from their childhood and stuff. Also, can we not like go? This is so adorable. I love it so much. But I watched the Harry Potter movies for the first time at the ripe age of 19 years old and became obsessed with them. And then in the new year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read the books because I literally loved them so much. And I figured if I was gonna like any book, I would like those. So I started reading the books. It went really well. I got to Goblet of Fire, got super overwhelmed. And it's like 600 pages. Like it's a big one. And I didn't really get back to that book until like a year later. And then I was kind of like on Book Talk and stuff like that. And I saw It Ends With Us like we all did during that time. And it was kind of like during a time where I was in between jobs, so I just had like a lot of downtime, and I finished it in a few days, and I just felt so accomplished, I think, from reading that book, that I started like reading other ones that were super popular during that time, like The Love Hypothesis, other Colleen Hoover stuff. And I think that was in like 2022. Yeah, I'm looking at my Goodreads now. That was in 2022, and then 2023 I just started reading more and more and more, and that's kind of how that all started. The next question is, what is the best book that you have read in the past year? And honestly, I think it's the book that I just finished, which was Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, and that is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series. When I tell you I have never read anything like that, it was literally insane throughout the entire thing. Also, don't mind me, I'm just gonna shave my face while I'm doing this because we're having a self-care night. But yeah, I absolutely loved Queen of Shadows. It was so freaking good. And I also got asked by a few people, how's my Throne of Glass like experience going so far? And I am loving the series so much so far. Queen of Shadows was my first 5-star read, and I think this is just like the point where I start telling everybody about it, that I'm obsessed with it, and that anybody who I know who reads or doesn't read is going to need to read it immediately. I would be lying though if I said I wasn't nervous for the tandem read, because that is next. So we've got Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn, and I have just never read like a book of that caliber before. for, because if you put the two books together, it's over 1,000 pages, which is longer than Kingdom of Ash, which is the last book. So I am feeling a little intimidated by that, but other than that, loving it, and I'm just feeling really great about my experience so far. How did you and your fiance meet? We were actually co-workers at a restaurant, and I actually got the job because one of my friends worked there, and I also had a few people who went to high school with me that worked there too. And even before then, they were trying to set us up on a blind date just because they thought we were gonna be so good together, but that just didn't end up working out. So we ended up working together, and they also, while we were working together, I guess, I kind of owe it all to them, to be completely honest, because I was like very shy. Like, I didn't talk to him at all because I can't do those situations, like straight up. But they ended up setting up a bunch of like activities and things we could all do as a group, so Luke and I could hang out and like get to know each other in like a more controlled environment, I guess. And then he asked me out on a date, and 2 weeks later we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and the rest is just kind of history. Shout out to our coworkers, and shout out to Addie too for helping us get to where we are now. The next question is, what book got me into fantasy? Trying to get into more fantasy books. I think the first one was Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Absolutely loved that. They're like fairy tale fantasies, super easy to understand. It's not really that confusing, and it low-key has some mystery elements too, and Stephanie Garber's writing is just so easy, and they're YA, so again, just super easy to get. And the second one was one of the ones that get a lot of people into fantasy, which is ACOTAR. I would recommend trying out a YA fantasy first before ACOTAR, especially because ACOTAR is spicy. So if you're not into that, definitely try out Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I would honestly say try out Once Upon a Broken Heart anyways if you haven't yet, because I just love that series. It was super fun. I also think Fourth Wing would be a really great first fantasy book too, just because the author is primarily a romance author, and she writes the fantasy book like it's a romance book, and when you read that, or if you've read it, you'll know what I mean. It's just super easy to understand, I feel like, in my opinion. The first one is specifically. Second one, we're not gonna get into that right now. I really want to do a face mask, but I don't know which one. I feel like I should just do this one. This is like the classic ordinary AHA BHA peeling mask. It's supposed to be like an exfoliant. I feel like I just kind of need that right now. Any advice for book slumps? I feel like reading any book that you can finish like fairly quickly always makes me feel really good whenever I'm not really feeling like reading, just because it makes me feel accomplished and kind of gets me back into the routine of reading. Switching up genres too, like if you've been reading a lot of fantasy, read some romance, or specifically, oh, I just got that on my load, not good. Or specifically reading mystery thrillers, just because they kind of keep you on your toes a little bit, and I feel like those are like the easiest to binge. Basically finding a book that you can binge. I literally look like Rudolph right now, but I don't want to put it there because I just shaved there, so I feel like that would hurt. Normally when I'm in a book slump, I go ahead and I watch book recommendation videos, or even going out and buying a new book. Just getting excited about like a new book kind of like makes you have that feeling to feel excited to read again, so I feel like that definitely helps too. My favorite YouTubers at the moment, like I said earlier in this video, Sophie Jane, been loving her, Rachel Catherine, Georgia, all of them, and their friendship is just so cute. I love them so much. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes starting now.
So I really like them, really love Sarah Caroli. She's like the first booktuber that I ever really watched. I just realized I did not put it up here. Same with Destiny, Haley. I love Larry. I also love Steph Bohr a lot too. I know that she posts mainly vlogs, but I don't know, her content is just like super fun, and I feel like I relate to her a lot too, so I don't know. She's just like a very comforting YouTuber. I've also always loved Zoella. She's always been one of my faves. Taylor Tippett too. I think she has like 7,000 subscribers or something like that. She needs more hype. She is so fun to watch. Go follow her and subscribe to her immediately. The cinematography of her videos is literally like so good. Like I just love her videos so much. I've also watched Alicia Marie and Remy Cruz for like a really long time, like since I was little, so I love watching them. Jason Marie, Ava Jules. I feel like I have so many favorites, but those are definitely like my top favorites. What is your least read genre? I would definitely say probably mystery or literary fiction out of the genres that I do read. Maybe nonfiction, honestly. I do read memoirs though. I know my most read genres are romance and fantasy, so basically anything that's not in that. Somebody also said that I should do the book rec tag that was going around like last year, so let me know if you guys want me to do that video. I love doing book recommendation videos for you guys. I have one I think coming out after this video actually for like spring and summertime, so and get excited for that. Let me know if you guys want that, because I could do that video in like May or something. Let me know. What gave you the confidence to start doing book videos? I know it can be hard, but you're doing amazing. First of all, that is so kind. Thank you very much. Second of all, I actually didn't start as a booktuber. I've just always loved YouTube, and I thought video editing was just so interesting and like very fun. So I started out just doing kind of like regular lifestyle videos and vlogs and stuff like that. And the biggest reason why I wanted to become a booktuber is just because I started reading more and I started wanting to share that with people, because it's kind of hard to find people like in your real life to talk to about books if you don't really know anybody who reads. So I feel like it's kind of great that we have this online community that all reads and can give you book recommendations and can talk to you about books that you love and all of those kinds of things. And it's just a great community, and I'm like so thankful and glad that I am a part of it with you guys. Whereas confidence goes, I think that I started doing it. Like if you go back to my first video, which I don't think is privated, like I think all my old videos are still up there, so if you want to watch those, go ahead. I don't recommend it. But I think for confidence, like with posting and knowing people that I know would see it, would always freak me out. I wouldn't even like post or promote it like anywhere basically back when I first started posting, because I was like embarrassed about it. So I was just like, you know what, if people find it from YouTube, people find it from YouTube, but I'm not posting it anywhere else. And I think I just got over that, specifically like during COVID. It was just like a very weird and different time, and I don't want to say that like my confidence grew a lot more, but I think I just like stopped caring during that time. And since then I think I like started caring a little bit more, because like obviously like we're seeing people and stuff like that now. But that was such a weird time, so I feel like I just like didn't even like think about it. It didn't even like register in my brain. Genuinely, whenever I post now or promote a video, I always get scared that people like aren't gonna like it, or they're not gonna watch it anymore. Like even if I do like have more subscribers than I used to, it just always freaks me out that like someday like people are gonna want to watch my videos or whatever. And like I don't know, I know that like doesn't define my worth or anything, but I feel like whereas confidence goes, I don't really have a lot of it. I just kind of like do it. I don't think that waiting for me to have the confidence to do it, I don't think I would have ever done it. So I guess that's kind of your answer. What's your favorite romance book of all time? Literally, there's so many questions like that on here, like what's your favorite book, what's your favorite blah blah blah. And it's so bad because like I have quite a few books that I love, but I just have to look at them all on my shelf to like know. Like, is that weird? Let me go look at my shelf really quick. Okay, my timer went off while I was in there, but I think that my favorite romance book as of right now, whenever you're watching this video or whenever it came out, for YA romance, I would definitely say Better Than the Movies. It gives you all those feelings of falling in love for the first time, and it's just so cute, so wholesome, so sweet. I love that book so much. Really nervous for the second one coming out. Like, what is it, Nothing Like the Movies or whatever? I think it's coming out in November. Really nervous for that one because they lived happily ever after in the first one. So if they break up, I'm literally gonna cry myself to sleep. Love that for me. I recommend that to a lot of people as just the first book that they read, just because it's such a fun and easy read that a lot of people can relate to. But for adult romance, I honestly think Happy Place is my favorite, and I would probably put Yours Truly and Beach Read like right under it. I love those books so much, but Happy Place just really takes the cake for me, just because of all the talk about friendship and stuff like that, and just things like being different as you grow up, and it's just phenomenal. Yours Truly was just so good too. Like, talks a lot about anxiety. The representation is actually insane, and the way that she writes it is just so real. Like, I've never related to a book or books more than those two books specifically. Beach Read is just like, it's just so good. It's just kind of everything, and I love it so much. And then people were also just asking like my favorite books from each genre. So that was romance, YA, and regular. YA fantasy, I think I'd probably, is Throne of Glass technically YA fantasy? I don't know. I think it is. I know Powerless is for sure YA fantasy. You know how much I love Powerless if you guys have watched any of my other book videos. I also really love Once Upon a Broken Heart, like I was talking about earlier. Those are YA. And then Throne of Glass, I don't know if it's technically YA or not, but I love Throne of Glass, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I would definitely say those are my top favorites at the moment. Literary fiction probably goes to like Daisy Jones and the Six, such a good book. I don't think I have a favorite memoir or nonfiction book. Mystery probably goes to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I don't really read most of those, so I definitely recommend that book, but I wouldn't like take my recommendations on those because I literally get scared of everything. Also, earlier whenever you were guys asking about the genre that I read the least of, I'd probably say sci-fi. I need to read a sci-fi book this year. I've never really read one. I know people love Red Rising. I have Renegades on my shelf that I could read. Leave me sci-fi recs down below because I'm definitely interested in getting into that genre. I think that is going to be it for all the questions that I answer since we are done with our skincare routine. If you guys ever have any questions for me at all, DM me on Instagram. You can comment it on this post and I'll try and answer it in a video. But I love doing these Q&As and stuff like that with you guys just because I feel like we can get closer and just kind of chat, and it's just really, really nice. I have never been more obsessed with something than I have been with my little reading setup I have right here with my chair and just my bookshelves. I'm obsessed with my bookshelves, guys. Like, you don't even know. Besides the fact that I literally just told you that I'm obsessed with them. So, I guess you do know. But I just love them so much, and I cannot wait to add more books to it, to be honest. I'm also really nervous to add more books to it because I was on a book buying ban in March whenever I did do my bookshelves. So I'm really nervous that adding more books to it, I'm going to have to like change it around, and I know I will have to eventually. I just really love the way that they look right now. Anyways, book lovers, we really haven't talked about it at all yet in this video. This looks insane. I'm gonna put a picture of what I think that this looks like right here because I don't know what it's called, but it's up here, and I don't know how else to describe it besides a picture. This is actually a bookmark that I made in my last vlog. I think I was talking about crocheting, and I crocheted my first thing ever, which was a headband. And this was the second thing that I made, which was a bookmark. And I didn't really follow like any certain type of pattern. I just kind of like made it up. This is the yarn that I've just been using for everything. I just kind of like made the pattern up. I'm so proud of myself though. I've really been loving crocheting. I kind of want to make one of those like hand crochet blankets, or finger crochet I guess it's called. I don't really know, but my mom made one and she like loves it, and it's actually like really nice blanket, so might be doing that. Let me know if you think that would actually be easy for my skill level or not. But anyways, I'm currently on page 49 of Book Lovers, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Like I said earlier, the book is in first person and it's following our main character Nora, and Nora talks about in the prologue how she's not the girl that like all the guys want. Like, she is the girl that all the guys leave for the girl that all the guys want, because she's very like corporate girly, kind of like not like snooty and stuck up. Like, she's just very independent and she loves to work basically. And her sister Libby is kind of pregnant right now, and she just kind of wants to get away from everything, and her sister haven't really been as close since her sister has had kids. So Nora and Libby go on this little trip together, and I'm kind of at like the beginning of their trip, and that's whenever Charlie comes into play in this book. Basically, we find out a little bit about him in the beginning. They were like working together a little bit, but then like it didn't really work out, and then she ends up running into him at this random small town. So I'm really interested to see where this is gonna go, because these seem like two people who are very like corporate-esque people, and they both work in publishing too. That's why it's called Book Lovers. I mean, I'm assuming anyway, because they both love books and they work in publishing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited, kind of nervous. Like I was saying at the beginning, it's kind of hard whenever an author has 2 5-star reads from you. It's just kind of like it's just kind of intimidating a little bit. But I'm enjoying it so far, and that's kind of like all I have to say about it at the moment. I don't really know if this is going to be very plot based or very character based. It said it was rivals to lovers, so I'm assuming that there's going to be something else kind of like going on with the storyline other than that they're just like both in the small town randomly. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and get back into Book Lovers. I just had the like chillest, coziest morning ever. Made some pancakes for breakfast, had some tea, and just read Book Lovers for a while. I am on page 131, and honestly, like, this book, like most of Emily Henry's books, I feel like are more summery feeling. Like it just kind of has those like warm weather vibes. Like literally they're beach reads. But I honestly wish that I would have read this one during the fall. I don't know why, it's just giving me such like cozy vibes. And it's been raining a lot today, and yesterday night it was raining. It was like storming really bad actually. And it just like gave like the coziest vibes ever. Like I feel like this is more of a fall read. I don't think that that's hindering my experience at all, but I just feel like if there's one Emily Henry book that you can read in the fall, it would definitely be this one. I'm about a third of the way through, and I don't know, I'm just like really enjoying it. The plot isn't getting like super crazy or anything like that. It's more like character based in my opinion. Well, maybe not more character based, but like I feel like Emily Henry's books are like half plot, half character, besides Beach Read so far. Like there's like a good mix of both. Beach Read was mainly like plot based though in my opinion, even though we did get to know the character a lot, just the plot was like driving forward. With this one, I don't think I've gotten to that point yet, but I don't know, Nora and Charlie are just really like cute, like separately but like also together. Some of the things that he's saying, like the way that he's flirting with her and stuff like that is kind of cute too, even though she's not really noticing it, but she is, but she's like choosing not to notice it. And they like kind of work together because she's a publishing agent and he's an editor, so they're going to be working on the same book now. So I feel like that's where a lot of the plot is going to come into play, is because they're going to be working together. One thing though for me, I'm not sure if this is going to be a 5-star read like the other ones that I've read by her, just because the tension has already kind of broken a little bit. And one thing about me again is I love tension. I love tension in books. The tension keeps me going, and as I've read a lot more, I just prefer more tension than just having spice right off the back. I like the lead up a lot more than just having straight up spice, but I really am enjoying the plot, so I'm interested to see kind of like where this goes and like where it kind of like unravels. There was one part though, whenever like the tension broke, where I was just kind of like, I don't know, like my feelings for the book just kind of like dropped just like a little bit, but who knows, maybe because that moment it'll add to even more tension later, because they already said they weren't doing that because they're working together. So I'll just have to wait and see. If you guys are interested in my final thoughts on this book, go ahead and check out my Goodreads, which will be updated once I know like for sure how I feel about it, which might be a little while. But if you want to know like my final thoughts, probably a lot quicker than that, because normally I do my wrap-ups before I update on Goodreads, just because sometimes I'm not particularly sure about a book. But my final thoughts, if this made any sense, I feel like I am just totally rambling and going on and on, but all my thoughts on this book will be in my April wrap-up at the end of this month, so wait for that if you want to know my thoughts. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed just like the cozy, comforting vibes of having a little sleepover. I know I had a lot of fun, so I hope you guys did too. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you want to keep updated with all of my things that I do on a daily basis, check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Goodreads, especially if you want to be updated with what I am reading on the daily. And I think that is it for this video. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Ooh, that's terrifying. Ow. Love that. Okay. Realistically, this is what happens every time I brush my teeth. Oh my god.